Hello, everybody. Welcome back to a special edition of Why So Serious, a nerd podcast. And it's a special edition because all four of us are here. Yes, we are. For only about the third or second time since January, all four hosts are in the building. So, my name's Andy. If you don't already know, you can see my name is in this corner over here. If I can get my fucking finger, if I open it correctly. And you can see the other names in the corner there. We've got JD, we've got Caleb, and we've got David. Guys, how are we doing?
Wonderful.
Amazing.
Wonderful.
Andy.
Cool. Oh, yeah. Love the enthusiastic reactions there. Thanks, guys.
Super stoked to be here. Thanks for hosting, Andy.
Good morning, wherever you happen to be. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever in the world you're tuning in from or listening back to. We appreciate you for tuning in. Just before we get into today's episode, just take 2 minutes to support the show. Go and follow us on social media, Instagram, TikTok, X. Go and see all of our episodes on YouTube, or you can jump over to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcasts. You will find every episode that Why So Serious has ever done. Every new episodes drop on a Tuesday every single week, so you can wake up in the morning, listen on your Tuesday commute to exactly what we've been gabbing on about the week before, and therefore you can stay up to date and you know when your episodes are dropping. You can also jump yourself over to Panabound Comics, use the code Why So Serious at checkout, get yourself a discount on your comic books. That's always going to be helpful, and you can use that spare money as well to pop over to the Why So Serious merch website, get yourself a t-shirt, hat, mug, whatever you like. Get your Why So Serious merch. JD is very model-like in his appearance there, showing off the Why So Serious t-shirt.
New shirt's got a blue thing going on, kind of a blue themed with that kind of the background you see in our YouTube thumbnails. Good shirt. Good stuff. Nice. There's even baby clothes. Some of us are babies.
Oh, there you go,
yeah. At what sizes? Am I terrible? Well, actually, I know what sizes, but for
baby sizes,
don't know what sizes are available.
I don't know if I can be completely honest. I don't know, but it's a certain type of baby size that'll fit a certain type of baby. So
let's check out.
Give it a nice flip of a coin. Give it an order. We'll see if it works.
Right. Yeah, just pop over to the website, have a browse, and you can browse everything else while you're there. Fill up your basket. Summer's coming. Get yourself looking hot for summer with supporting your favorite podcasts. But we are here today to check out one thing in particular, and that is the Punisher One Last Kill special presentation from Marvel Studios. So this whole one shot that they've done, co-written by John Bernthal himself. He pitched the whole idea, had to really run Marvel over to get him to agree to it, but we got it, and it's going to be explaining what happened to him between end of season 1 of Daredevil Born Again, when he escapes Fist's cage, and where he shows up at Spider-Man, I was going to say No Way Home, that's not correct, Brand New Day, fuck me. So it just fills that gap in between of what the Punisher's been doing. So it dropped in this week. Not very long, unfortunately. It's not like Werewolf at Night, where we got at least, an hour and a bit of Werewolf by Night. This was only 48 minutes plus credits. So, guys, let's just do first impressions. Caleb, kick us off. What were your first impressions?
Well, obviously, I love John Bernthal as an actor. He's one of the greatest, and him as Punisher is one of the best castings they've done in all of Marvel, I'd say. So, first of all, I love to see him running his own, being the main character in a show or a special presentation, but it was too short. I feel like I was definitely wanting more when it was over. Kind of ended abruptly in a way, and I'm like, okay, I guess that was cool. But the action was great, and there were some brutal kills in the presentation. But the story was okay, I guess. I wasn't expecting much from the story, but I was expecting it to be over an hour.
Fair. JD, if you've stopped looking at your phone long enough to pay attention, can you give us your thoughts?
Well, the baby
buddy,
by the way, 12 month, 18 month, 24
I was just looking at that too.
Different colors.
No one's paying attention to me. They're all looking at baby clothes now. It's fine.
There's 5 different colors. You can get a navy, gray, charcoal, black. I mean, it's pretty sick. Just put one on the shopping cart. Anyways.
And Punisher. On top of that, Werewolf by Night was, I wanted to say, an hour and 10 minutes. I feel like this is the shortest, but I thought Werewolf by Night was an hour and a half too. I guess it wasn't. So this isn't too far off, but still too short. I agree with Lub. And for me, still kind of a little bit pointless. It seems like they really just wanted to give John Bernthal like 20 minutes of being John Wick, slightly different style from the way Punisher kills all his people and mows them down. He wanted to try this John Wick thing. That's really cool, modern action stuff going on. But it's like seemed like the only point of this show. Other than that, to let us know that he almost gave up everything, but now he's deciding to continue being the Punisher. And that just seems like what this whole show is about. The last, all that action was amazing. So that's great. But otherwise, it's just all right.
Dave.
Yeah, I expected it to be longer than the Guardians holiday special. I will say that. Now, that being said, that doesn't automatically ruin it for me. That was just like, that's kind of a bummer, 44 minutes. My overall thought, and we'll get into it, there was a lot I liked. There were great action sequences. Jon Bernthal had some amazing scenes. And it's always fun seeing the Punisher in broad daylight just slaughtering people. So I'll start with that. Overall, though, kind of lost at what the point was. I feel like you could watch Punisher season 1 and get better storytelling, get probably overall better action sequences in the end, get a better character arc, and you'll still end up in the same place we ended up with him at the end of the special presentation. It just kind of felt like, I don't know, maybe Punisher, it made me think that maybe the Punisher seasons aren't canon anymore. And this was kind of their quick way of giving us Frank going through his PTSD, going through him questioning his role as the Punisher, and if he really wants to continue being it or not, finally accepting it, donning the suit, and going out to kick some ass at the end of it. Because that's what happened in his show, just over a longer period of time and told in a more thorough way. So my thought is like maybe that was their way of just quickly rehashing all of that because that's not canon anymore. If it's not, and season 1 and 2 are canon, this did kind of feel a little pointless and just fun murder fest, but I don't really know what the point was.
Yeah, they are still canon because it's on the official Disney Plus timeline. Those two series. So, but I know what you mean in terms of. I think we may as well get into it because obviously the start of this episode, the opening bits, is just showing Frank's descent into mental instability and psychotic goings on in his own head, hearing voices, hallucinating things and stuff, whether it's about his former teammates or his family or whatever. Yeah, it was good to see Curtis back from the series, the Netflix series.
I was wondering about that. They recasted everyone from the Punisher series, like his wife and kid too. No, I mean, sorry, like the same people, not recast. The same people.
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
not the
wife and kid. Yeah, I couldn't tell you off the top of my head. They probably looked a bit different. It's been a while since I've watched them to know instantaneously by seeing them, but. Yeah, it's interesting comparing it because I think the difference here in terms of, I see what you mean, Dave, and the others obviously mentioned it. It's a bit of a similar story in terms of like he's given up and then he's getting back on the road to do it. But I think with the Punisher series, it was about finding out what happened to his family, who did it, and going after them. Whereas we do catch on the news here that he's obviously off to most of the Nucci family, and they were the last people involved in his family's death. So once that's now over and done with, he's now lost his reason for being because he's avenged his family, he's taken out everyone involved. And so this is why he's now having like his descent into madness and chaos because he just doesn't know what to do anymore now. He's done all of that, and we see him about to give up and obviously commit suicide because he scratches off his Marines tag on his chest, and then obviously goes to his family's grave and he's about to off himself and then doesn't. So, JD, what did we reckon to the situation where he's off the Nucci family and then he's having his descent into madness here, based on the fact that he doesn't really have a reason to live anymore?
I respected that about his character. I mean, I could see where he's coming from. What is his purpose? He's already lost his whole family and he went on this murder spree, and that's not exactly supposed to be a soul enlightening experience, murdering people. So he did all the murdering, he lost his family. What is left to do? So I did buy into him going crazy. It felt a little weird. He's not typically like this, I don't know, like depressed, broken psych. God, that does sound like the Punisher, actually. But the way he's hallucinating and seeing his friends like that, and they're all talking down to him, that part was a little much because it's like, I don't really, his subconscious is worried. Doesn't seem like he's the type of dude to be worried about people's opinions and pleasing people. So like, I don't know how the subconscious is talking about his friends just talking down to him, because that just doesn't seem like the the core issue in his psychology. But so that was just kind of weird. Other than that, I believed in that kind of madness he was going through. Yeah. And they took it like a little further than I expected. They like really dove into that for the first 20 minutes. So, but that was fine. It's just, yeah, it just seemed a little bit like Dave said, a rehash of what he went through in his full series on Netflix. And I just didn't find that necessary. Keep it all canon and do something different. Was hoping for a little more MCU ties, but that's just me.
Yeah, zero. Like, when did this take place? We got no time. I felt like it was an Elseworld story almost. Like, the city was in chaos. It was like, I don't know. It just felt like it was a totally dystopian future. It felt weird as far as the timeline goes. I had no idea when it took place.
And especially because this comes out right after Daredevil ends and everything that happened in New York. New York is so different now. And yeah, it seemed like the streets were a little chaotic, but that was it. But I kind of wanted a little bit of mention of Fisk or Daredevil in jail, or not even Daredevil, maybe just like heroes in jail, him like figuring out what the hell's going on. A little bit of that, even some Easter eggs or something, not even to create a story around that for the Punisher. But so it was kind of sad not to get any of that. Plus, Spider-Man's coming out next. He's going to be in there. You know, maybe you could imagine an Easter egg leading into Spider-Man, even if it's Tombstone or something like that. So that has nothing. I mean, you don't want just Easter egg and fan service, but at the same time, kind of wanted a little of that sprinkled in there, especially considering the timing and when it came out, right after Daredevil, right before Spider-Man. And it doesn't seem like they would just do a Punisher movie unless it was like, hey, here's how he's going to tie into the MCU. But that's all right. I still think that's some of the coolest Punisher action we've got, right? Like that still might now be my favorite Punisher action scene, because I mean it's so long, but it's so John Wickish. So I mean, even just the action alone might have been the coolest Punisher action we've had. Just don't see the point in the show.
Well, we'll get onto the action bit in a bit. So, but Dave, your views on Frank's descent into madness at the start here.
Yeah, so like I said, yeah, some of it felt like a rehash. I do get that it's a different obstacle he's going through now. Now he feels like he doesn't have a purpose, at least before he was getting revenge for his family. So I thought it was done well, the PTSD stuff, Curtis showing up, and I bought into that point because I do think Frank cares what other people think of him. Not everybody, definitely not everybody, but I think once he got that relationship with Karen in his show, it kind of started reopening that sensitive side that when he let family in, when he actually cared for people, Karen kind of reopened that for him, and kind of Madani and the younger girl in season 2 as well in the show. But Karen was a really big piece there. So that was actually my favorite aspect of his descent into madness, is when Karen showed up in this. I really believed in that because I think he cares what Karen thinks about him, and he, in the back of his head, doesn't want to be looked at as a monster, a ruthless, cold-hearted killing machine. You know, he doesn't want Karen to see him in that light, which is why he always helps her out and is I mean, if you watch the Punisher show, he has some soft scenes with Karen, and you can tell he truly cares for her. So I really like that. And again, the PTSD scenes were fine. I just felt like we did cover that a fair amount in the first 2 seasons, but.
Yeah, it's a good point about Karen, because we even get it in Born Again season 1, after his first encounter with Matt, when he's obviously all roughed up and he's got the beard and everything. And then when he shows up again at his apartment later on, when obviously Karen had called him to come and help out, he's had a trim and he's even put an aftershave, as Matt points out. And he's like, who are you putting aftershave on for? So it's like, well, we did it because Karen. So yeah, fair point about, he doesn't care what everyone thinks, but there's certain people, and Karen is the turning point. And even in his own psyche and his own hallucination, she's a turning point for him. So that's a good observation, Dave. I like that. Caleb.
He was giving me OG Black Noir vibes when you see all those cartoon characters. But no, I liked it. The Punisher is a very complex character, and in Born Again, he's like putting that act on, like the tough guy act. And then in this, you see he's by himself in his apartment, and he's like pretty vulnerable in this situation, really like going through all the trauma he's gone through in his life. So, I haven't seen the Punisher series, and when I finish this, it just makes me want to go watch it.
Loser.
Stop. So, I'm not too familiar with this side of the Punisher like you guys are. So I did enjoy it, and Jon Bernthal killed it. Like in a room, like acting in a room by yourself is pretty tough to do, and killed it.
Yeah, I think you got it spot on there as well. I mean, John Bernthal did a fantastic job with the acting. I was watching it and I wasn't sure if I did buy into the whole like he had descended that far into having a psychotic break about everything. But then again, I've lost quite a bit of family, but I haven't had all my family lost like the Punisher has. So I can't exactly say for sure that I wouldn't have a psychotic break like that. So I think maybe fair enough that he's had that, especially after he's like avenged his family and killed off everyone that was involved. And then he's like, what is there left now? So, but hopefully, moving forward, we get a bit more MCU connection with him. Because as JD said, it's apart from Karen, there's nothing outside of the Punisher TV show or anything else that even links to the MCU. Copycats from the shop are the same scene in the Spider-Man trailer. Okay.
They are.
That's
I
fun.
will say New York, if you notice all of the New York projects, I think New York has those like iconic blue coffee cups with like the little Greek squares going around. I see them in every New York project in the MCU. So I think that may be a New York thing, but I like it. Cap and Trip.
Anchor being
Cap and Trip has been a consistent. He's pitching in a lot in the comments.
How dare you
That's
call it
appreciate
that
that,
shit, honestly.
Hell yeah.
what'd you call it?
Shout
Catching
out.
shit?
Shout out, Alex. We actually go way back.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
just your
thanks
friends,
for
is it, Dave?
thanks for tuning in, bro.
So then we get the bit where he's obviously gone off and he's packed everything up. He goes off to kill himself at his family's grave, but something obviously stops him. And then as he's going back home, we get the bit where Nucci turns up from the Nucci crime family, and we sort of see the bits where Frank's gone and killed each one of the high-end family members, which has caused this whole chaotic environment in I can't remember what the part of town was that they were in.
Sicily.
Little Sicily. It's caused this, so it's a lawless street. We didn't even cover the bit at the very beginning where that absolute bellend takes the old veteran's dog and throws him under a bus.
So
Oh
unnecessary.
my god!
Did not need to see that.
Why?
I get it was a
I know.
John Wick setup, but
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
come on, man.
So I was like, if this guy now has to die by the end of it, there's no way they show him doing something like that and they don't kill him by the end of this episode. Anyway,
Dude.
But yeah, the whole
we know
Martin
them?
Nucci-
Do we know them?
What, the Nucci?
They're just
Yeah.
I mean,
Just a
they're
classic
in the
New York
comics,
crime
but
family.
Okay.
yeah,
Kind of like
comics,
the
but
Falcone,
they're,
Marones, whatever. Or backwards, Falcone and Maroni. Damn it, I always switch those up. I always say Falcone, Falcone.
You can say either or.
I mean, they do come from the comics, don't they, JD? I mean, it was a direct nod to the Welcome Back Frank comic book arc where he takes on the Nucci family, and Nucci especially, doesn't he? So
yeah. Which fun fact that also I didn't know, but I just checked it out and it had that Daredevil and Punisher scene from season 2 where Daredevil's chained up with a gun, taped to his hand, and they discuss the morality of murder. That was ripped straight out of Welcome Back Franks, and that was Daredevil season 2. So that was a cool little treat. But yeah, Nucci's straight out of that comic.
Dude,
Straight out of Compton.
I have to ask you guys, we're talking about Nucci. Did it come off insanely goofy to anybody else? Like her acting was terrible. It felt so comedically campy and just like, what the hell is that? I don't know, dude. It felt like just super campy. It did not feel like a villain of from a Penguin series or a Punisher series. Like it felt like straight up, I don't know. She is not that good at acting. I don't know if it was her fault or the writing, but she took me out of it immediately.
Well, it made it cornier that they got this brawlic man next to her that just stands around and moves her around on her wheelchair, and so you figure he'd get into the argument or start fighting Frank or something. He's just hanging out. But yeah, she didn't exactly land.
You're liking that brawlic word these days. I like it.
Yeah, ever since you showed me that
video. It's like
Spawn
I'm getting
die,
face.
spawn die. Why is it when I get flashed, it's like I got hit in the face with a napkin from a little kid's birthday party? Yeah, that
What
one's
are you talking about?
You know, it's an
don't
all-time
remember that?
Call of Duty video.
That is
where
so
the guy
funny. I
starts
had to watch
raging
it
about a
8
flashbang.
times.
Anyways,
But when I flash somebody, it's like some big brawlic man named Jamal proceeded to skull fuck me.
it was Requise, but
So,
Requise.
JD Dave having their own little private moment there. In the middle of
hey, do
our
you want to
live
get out of
stream,
here?
it's
Go watch
absolutely
some of the
fine.
videos.
Lunch?
So, okay, back on track. So yes, I agree with Dave. Like the whole Marnichi acting, the whole character, just it didn't seem very threatening. It didn't seem like she's the one left over in charge of whatever's left of this crime family now, and yeah, it just didn't really seem to fit in well with the rest of it. Like, because normally, even if like a bit broken or whatever, you got to find them threatening in some way, and having some big brawler dude with you to be your one, just stand there staring at you stoically and be the one threatening doesn't work as well as her having something about her that's threatening, whether it's her tone of voice, the manner in which she delivers something. Whereas here, it just felt like someone was doing like their second or third acting job, and was just jumping in to do it. So, Love, any thoughts on this bit?
Well, it's kind of weird. She just drove off at the end too. You know, she just kind of rolled down the window, looked at him like, all right, okay, never mind. I'm just gonna drive off now. And I'm like, I was waiting for her to like maybe show up at the graveyard or like one last like final henchman. So I was a little like the big tattoo guy. He was, I guess, like kind of hard to kill, but I was waiting for like someone at the end. You know,
She just
So,
turns
no,
around
it-
and
it was-
wheels away.
right?
Like,
Yeah,
he's gonna
it was-
escape the
We're
building.
gonna get out of here. Scoot, scoot, scoot.
yeah. So
God, I love
they
that
were
bit.
there to get killed.
Yeah, fair. And then obviously, so she tells him that at 6:47 tonight, that that's when every like in the classic John Wick, what was it, part 3 or whatever it was, like at 6 o'clock tonight, the entire everyone's coming for you. So she's like, every person that we've been able to hire, everyone that works for us, they're coming for you at 6:47. And then this starts it all off, then, doesn't it? Where we basically get the rest of the episode, well, for the most part, apart from maybe the last 5 minutes or so, of just pure action. Of as JD already said, like the John Wick style. Let's fight our way out of every single corner and every floor and take down every single person that comes our way. Caleb, give us your thoughts on all the action.
I have a favorite kill. I think it's that when he hit the guy comes in, swings the axe, he moves,
Baseball bat.
it hits
Yep.
hits the guy, and then he falls on top of it. With that.
To be
my
fair,
God.
my favorite one was in the coffee shop when he stabs the big guy and loads with a pen just
Yeah,
constantly, and all
the
the
pen.
and all of his muscles, the sides up his
That was
face.
wild.
Again, John Wick, instead of a pencil is a pen. But again,
Right.
another nod to it.
But no, I mean, in the way they filmed it too, it was very gritty. He's using every weapon he can find. One gun is out of bullets, so he picks up another one. Knives. He's good with the knife too. He's quick to the neck right there. So
It's not your
I
patented
can't
military
stand-
move, is it?
I'm really over the yell he does.
No,
Like, when he does
it's
that,
like
I still
Palpatine
like it.
attacking the Jedi. It throws them off.
I'm
guttural.
over it, dude.
It's a Sith
It's
scream.
guttural. It's fine, but it's like a little much for me.
JD prefers a tender moan rather than a scream.
yeah. Women's tennis. He likes
So I
that.
can kill you calmly.
JD's a fan of the Serena sisters.
Yes. Williams.
Williams, sorry, yeah. Sorry, love, carry on.
No, that was about it. I mean,
Oh, okay, fine.
Great with the
Thanks for
knife.
that. Dave, your thoughts on the action? And did you have a favorite kill?
Yeah, one of my favorite ones was the same one. I marked it right when it happened. Yeah, it was just so sick. He misses with the axe. It goes into the opposing guy, and then he overhand baseball bats the guy who missed into the axe. It was just savage. So that was fun. Yeah, I mean, we obviously had some not really one takes, but pretty close to it. Stuff like that, running action sequences, some pretty gnarly kills. I saw some stuff coming out about like the VFX and these action sequences, and I gotta say, it didn't bother me at all while I was watching. I didn't like. I know there were a couple things, him falling on the box in that one action sequence that slows down. It doesn't look great, but it didn't take me out of the moment during it. I didn't mind it. Yeah, I and they even showed that they actually did it practically. The guy fell off the roof onto a pad. It was just, I guess, the editing and lighting. They probably shouldn't have slowed it down when he hit. I don't. Anyway, I saw a lot of
like a
complaints
crash
about that
pad
with the
he
action.
landed on.
It
It looked
somewhat
like a
did,
crash pad. Like it looked
But
like a
it-
mattress.
but I didn't notice it that much. It felt a little goofy. I don't know. The VFX of the action sequences, it didn't take me out of this at all. So I thought the action was definitely by and far the best part of the special presentation. So classic Punisher kills. It was fun.
Yeah, I didn't notice anything bad about the VFX or CGI at all. Like everyone was talking about that scene where he falls off the roof onto that metal thing, and because they came out and said the only CGI in that entire bit was the fact that they had to put Bernthal's face onto the
face.
stuntman,
Right.
and that was the only thing about it that they changed. So I was like, I don't get why everyone was like saying it was such bad CGI, and I'm like, but I've been defending it on TikTok, going the only CGI in that was changing his face, him falling on
Yeah.
the metal sheet, and everything was all practically done. There was no CGI, so I don't know what you're talking about. That's what it
Yeah.
looks like when it happens in real life when it's not CGI'd. So like,
Well, and you could tell there were other practical stuff with the action. I saw one scene which I knew it was actually going to happen. I went and looked it up, and it turns out that it was John Bernthal. So in the scene where they light his apartment on fire to kick off this entire thing, I did notice his pants looked like he was wearing something underneath his
Yeah.
jeans when that scene started. I was like, is he about to
very,
catch on
they were
fire?
very
for real?
baggy all of a sudden. Yeah.
And, yep, and they burned him, and it showed his face. I was like, I bet you they actually lit him on fire. Looked it up, they did. They lit John Bernthal on fire for that scene. So I appreciated the lengths they went for the certain stuff there. Yeah, I thought they did great with the action.
JD.
Yeah, the one thing I like about it is usually Punisher is the hunter and he's going after people. So to have like half the city hunting him down was a really cool change of pace, and seeing what he does when he's backed into a corner, which is no surprise, but it was still really fun to see for like 15 straight minutes. And yeah, you guys covered it all. It was just a lot of great action, possibly the best Punisher action. The pen kill was my favorite. That was just savage because this guy really looked very big and confident and brolic and tatted.
Nice.
So Punisher just wipes him out with a little generic G2 pen. So not bad.
So, I mean, did it go back to sort of like the Punisher finding himself within this whole killing scene as well? It wasn't the fact that he decided not to kill himself because he wanted to find a reason to go one in. Obviously, the hallucinations and stuff were getting him there. But it's the fact that when he ends up out on the street outside the apartment complex, and he sees the guy in the coffee shop obviously having to fend people off, and he goes in there to defend the shop and the guy and stuff. And do you think that was like a pivotal moment for the Punisher, realizing that he wants to carry on going and defend people rather than just letting himself go? Because before, yeah, that whole action sequence up to then, he's just about defending himself, and like he does kill a couple of people that are assaulting others during that whole sort of sequence. But that's the real moment for me when he turns and he's like starts doing the killing for others to save them rather than just himself.
I think he just relapsed on murder and he's like, shit, I can't stop doing this. I like this. So he's gonna put that skull on his chest and go find some people to murder. He's like, yeah, this is why I exist.
It's the difference between Punisher and other characters. Is other characters, when they kind of lose control and they savagely kill somebody, we always get that scene where the person they saved is kind of horrified. Like, you just bit that dude's throat out and then ripped it and shoved it back into his mouth. Like, I don't feel safe to just watch you brutally murder somebody. But Frank gets the opposite at the end. He brutally murders people in front of the family, and the girl gives him a hug, and the family loves him. So it's like, that's absolutely going to reinforce the fact that the Punisher is not going away, because that family just gave him all the love and appreciation for him brutally murdering people. So he's got all the reinforcement he needs. Frank's back.
It's encouraging. Disney keeps going farther and farther on that rated R stuff too.
Ooh.
But literally to the point of like glorifying it to where, yeah, like a family is like happy about this murder right in front of them, but that maybe even a little too far. But I like to see like Disney is so committed to going really with mature content. Daredevil Born Again is like fully rated R. You know, this show obviously just massive gore and murder. So Disney, you know,
Dude,
they're feeding the adults. That's nice.
if they ever actually were able to accomplish the creation of Blade, I now totally believe in it. Like, they could give us some amazing action sequences and really give us the Blade gore you need in a vampire killer movie. But you know,
I'm so bummed it's probably not going to be Mahershala Ali, but I can't wait for a Blade project. But he would be so perfect. It's too late.
Yeah. So then we get to the end of this this episode, where Frank decides that obviously he's carrying on, and he sort of switches more back towards, I guess, his comic book motivation. Because he's always motivated by the death of his family, but you know, everything we've had about Frank from where we met him in season 2 of Netflix Daredevil up to now the motivation has been to avenge his family. Whereas now he decides that he's going to be the Punisher to wage that continuous, endless war against the criminal underworld just because they're criminals, and to go after them basically because he's like, I'm here to fuck you up sort of situation. So we see him step out in that classic look at the very end. Seems like he's dyed his hair and had a trim. He's repainted his Punisher skull, and he's wearing a very black outfit. Very, very fresh. He obviously had a bit of a went and stole some stuff during the riots to get himself all tatted up and ready for the streets. And we get that satisfaction at the end where he does get this guy who killed the dog. Throws a knife in his leg and then shoots him in the head when the old vet gives him permission to do so, which was nice way to end it. And then Frank's back, so this is the Frank that we then get, I guess, going into Spider-Man. So, Dave, your thoughts on the ending of this and the proper return of Frank Castle?
Yeah, not to sound like a broken record, but yeah, I did feel like we got this exact scene in season 2 when he walks out with the actually it might have been season 1 with the trench coat and the machine gun, and he just lights up all the gang members in the warehouse, and he shows that freshly painted skull, and it's like, oh, the Punisher is here. So we kind of got, again, and I hate to be a broken record, it just kind of felt like a rehashing of that, but it was still cool to see him in the full getup. I think the beard's a great look, even if he dyed it jet black. I don't care. I think it's a great look. I hope he continues to rock. He doesn't, though. We see him in Spider-Man. He doesn't have the beard anymore, so that's a bummer. But yeah, I mean, it was a cool classic comic book type feel, to the end of it. The character dons everything that everybody wanted him to see him don. He does a heroic thing, gets the revenge we got at the start of it all, and he walks off into the future of the Punisher. So yeah, it was fine.
And was that guy about to hit an old lady in the back of the head with a baseball bat?
Yeah.
Like, what the? Who is this guy? He's a menace.
It was a bit cartoonish with the
Right.
street criminals, I will say. Yeah,
Like,
they
what
are
are you
straight
doing,
up just
dude?
pure evil. But
Just grab her purse and run or something. You don't have to murder her. But it is interesting how the Punisher is just out in the open, because you think of, the anti-vigilante stuff going on in New York at the same time. He's just like, all right, I'm right here. So I'm sure in Spider-Man, he's going to be, back to his confident, cocky self. Like, I don't give a fuck about these vigilante laws. I'm out here with my face shown. Like, not a lot of heroes are out there in the open right
I'll
now.
tell you something.
Yeah.
JD, your thoughts on the end?
Is JD frozen?
Are you guys cutting out, or is it just me?
Oh,
It's just you, brother. Oh,
okay. Oh, there's JD's decided to. JD hated the end so much he's decided to leave the show. All right, then. Well, just quickly as we wait for JD to come back, because I'm sure he'll want to talk for another 5 minutes when he comes back. What are you guys expecting from Punisher in Spider-Man?
Maybe
Because
he
obviously
has...
it's going to be PG, isn't it? It's going to be the PG Punisher. It's not going to be the one that we've been used to. So, what are we exactly expecting from him?
for sure.
Well, if he's back, trying to stop the criminal underworld, and the Hand, maybe he has like an inside track on the Hand and what's going on with them in New York. So Spider-Man needs his help cleaning that up.
I'm not expecting much. I think he's going to be in a few scenes. He's going to get 1 or 2 action sequences, one at the start where Spider-Man kind of stops him, and maybe at the end where he kind of helps Spider-Man in a tough spot. I don't think he's going to be in it much. I think his main role is going to be kind of the mentor thing, talking Spider-Man through his journey that he's going through right now. He's on his own. He's doing the street level stuff. He's probably, I don't know, maybe dealing with emotions, and he's losing his powers, yada, yada, yada. I think his main thing is going to be just a side role as a bit of a mentor in Peter's overall journey. But I don't expect the Punisher to be like in all 3 acts by any means.
I think in a way we do, because they did confirm a while ago that we're getting that classic comic book scene where we see Punisher carrying a really beaten up Spider-Man like through into a room, wherever it was. So they did confirm we were getting a scene like that. So maybe that's where he appears in the middle, where he sort of like talks to Spider-Man and mentors him as he's, hey Dave. So we get him at the start in the fight, which we see in the trailer. We get him at the end backing up Spider-Man and maybe Hulk, and then we get him in the middle where he does a little bit of mentoring. I think maybe like I think it maybe
Maybe one scene each kind of deal. Yeah.
Bruce Banner and I think Frank are going to do a little bit of mentoring during this, so in slightly different ways perhaps, but he takes both of it on. But JD, are you expecting big things from Punisher and Spider-Man?
Not really. You know, Punisher and Hulk seem like they're a little bit forced into this movie, and I'm not complaining even really, but I see Bruce Banner playing a more important role than the Punisher. Yeah, some mentor stuff. Yeah, another kind of murder morality discussion, but that Civil War, that thing where he's carrying Spider-Man into a room was during Civil War in the comics, and that was when a bunch of Thunderbolts were sent after Spider-Man, and they just whooped his ass down in the sewers, like half to death. And then all of a sudden, you see these bullets flying through their heads. Frank takes them out, carries Spider-Man into the room with all the kind of rebels that are not signing with the Superhero Registration Act. Yeah, and cool. That's a really cool scene. The only other way I could see him fitting in, because like just some human murder machine doesn't really fit on any teams in the MCU. But if we do something more with Frank, like he has to do this stealth mission that he did this in Civil War, again, same comic, where he can get some really tactically beneficial stuff done because he's going to go sneak and do more of a Splinter Cell approach. That'd be really cool to see us sneaking around with a silencer Punisher. But like, I don't know what you're really going to do. I don't think he's going to play a giant role in Spider-Man. Bruce Banner, on the other hand, there's these problems with spider mutations going on, science bro stuff going on. So it feels like he would have more of a role than the Punisher would. So I kind of think he's just in there for fun. You know, throw the Punisher in there. There's a lot of crazy stuff on the streets going on. And I hope there's something more to it, but I just don't see where that would be.
I will say real quick, I do think that first sequence that we see in the trailer where he webs his mouth up and Frank's obviously chasing down somebody, I think he's probably chasing down Monucci and maybe finishing up this little thing that we started with the special presentation. Maybe Frank's introduction is tying up that, because what the hell was the one last kill? Who was the one last kill? It must be the last Nucci family member at this point. I don't know. So I think that's where we'll get introduced to him in the movie, is maybe him tying up this loose end from the special presentation.
Nucci could have hired Tombstone, and that's kind of directly going to bring everyone together.
Exactly.
That'd be cool. Spider-Man.
Yeah,
if he's already maybe chasing Tombstone or investigating Tombstone, and then we see him meet up with Nucci, and then we see Punisher coming in to try to kill them, and he's like, Frank, no, don't kill. Stuff like that. It could still be a lot of fun, even if it's not super important.
Frank, no.
The one last kill bit from an interview that they did was supposed to be referring to him offing himself. So he'd done everything he was supposed to do. The one last kill was going to be himself, and then obviously he's turned his back on that to become to stick around.
Okay,
so.
I like that.
That works for me. That works for me because it felt.
Well, I'm glad it does, Dave.
That sounds cool.
I'm glad Marvel have your approval.
Slogan. What's a badass slogan we can tat on to Punisher? One last kill. Yeah, that sounds pretty sick. What's it mean? I don't know. All right, sick. So at least there's something there.
I can't wait to message John Berthel and tell him that the title had your approval. He's going to mean the world to him.
I'll let him know.
I'll
let him know after my nap.
Do we think the Punisher's done after Spider-Man though, or you think he'll come back like Born Again season 3? Or
I mean,
no.
a heavy rumor going on. Yeah, last couple of days that there's going to be a Punisher TV series. They're going to reboot that, not reboot it, but continue do another one. So
I like that.
Love might eventually watch it by 2036. It's fine.
But it's just he out of all the characters, he just doesn't have anything significant. It's just who's he gonna murder. So like I'm excited for the show, but
that is the thing with Frank, isn't it? It's just a case of like he is a bit one-dimensional in terms of you can do all this stuff where he has a breakdown and he's like recovering stuff, but at the end of the day, Frank Castle just kills people straight up. So it's like there isn't much more to do with him than that. That's why he kind of works better being inserted into other people's series and other people's films, rather than maybe a standalone one anymore. Because we've got 2 series that are canon, and he's done all that. We did the whole family thing, we did the Russo thing. So it's just moving on now, and like I think he works better being in everyone else's show rather than having his own standalone one. Even if I want Punisher series the same way I want standalone Vader series. I would love it, but it's not the most important thing to the wider MCU.
You know, the one kind of story you're setting he could fit really well into is that Dark Reign stuff going on. If you really commit to the Thunderbolts being villains, and all of that. He would fit
For that
so
Bullseye
well
team?
into Bullseye. We still need a Punisher versus Bullseye, by the way. Now we're wondering if Bullseye is going to be in Spider-Man. Could you imagine? Or are we waiting for season 3? But man, him in the Dark Reign kind of comics would fit so well. And really, if he was kind of a part of one of those Thunderbolt squads too, could you imagine if him and Bullseye end up on the same team? That'd be really cool. Well,
Okay,
not really. I'd
we've
rather than fight, but whatever. Oh yeah, let's not talk about nerdy stuff on a nerd podcast. Go ahead.
So JD's camera has stopped working again.
He leaves. Oh. I was like, what are you doing? What? He just left.
It's all right. No, we
Outta
just got
here.
more to fit in. I just, just didn't want to be here all fucking day. It's fine. I love talking about this. It's fine. David we've got 2 more things that we're going to do. Dave's got some questions for us, and then we're going to rank the 3 special presentations that Marvel have released. So, Dave, you have the floor.
Let me do it real quick here because I do feel kind of bad because Love's going to be left out here because I had a couple questions in comparison to
Yeah,
Punisher
that's his own
season
fault.
1,
Don't worry.
but Love hasn't seen it. So, and it just goes back to my thing where it felt like it was a rehashing. So I was curious if either of you guys thought any of these aspects were better or more well done in the special presentation compared to season 1. So right off the bat, action fight sequences. Do you guys think they elevated it, or at least were on the same level? What do you think, Andy?
That's an interesting one. Because as you mentioned, when you've got a series, you can flesh these out over the longer term. So there's a few fights, but they don't have to be as epic as this one. I feel like because this was like a more prolonged fight than I think anything we really got in the 2 series. You could maybe make an argument that this is a bit more epic because it's one long fight scene as opposed to broken up ones over a series. So I'd probably say this one's more epic simply because it was just a longer all-in-one fight scene.
Okay. JD, you agree with that?
Yeah, I would say this is the coolest Punisher action we've had so far. It's just the whole thing was created, I think, so we could have this giant action scene. So it's like they put all their chips in that basket, so it's no surprise. But story and character-wise, not even close to the Punisher series.
Word. And that was going to be my next bullet point, but it's dumb. I'm going to remove it because obviously it's not fair. You're talking about a full season against a 45-minute thing. It was about storytelling, but I think that's pretty clear. We don't need to handle that. Comic book feel to it. Did we feel more of a comic book feel from the special presentation or from the Punisher season 1? Especially JD, I don't know if you've read a lot of Punisher comics. I know Andy's a big Punisher fan. I don't know how many comics he's read of Punisher. But comic book feel, did this feel more like that, or did Punisher season 1 kind of scratch those itches a little more?
In my opinions, the series felt more comic-y than this, because I mean, he doesn't even have the skull on his chest. Just dozens and dozens of people are after him, killing him. But the series definitely hit closer to comic book home for me.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay. And then last thing, what was more satisfying? Frank coming out with the skull on his chest at the end of the Punisher season and embracing it, or this one in the special presentation of him looking clean, black and white, ready to shoot some people in the face? Which one was more satisfying, Andy? Oh,
fuck you, JD. Oh, come on, you talk about comic book stuff. Oh.
Let's hold that for a different show.
I think the TV series was more satisfying, simply because it was at the end of his own show after having been in Daredevil, Netflix, and then getting his own show. Walking out in the trench coat with the 2 guns and just gunning them down at the end. That was the satisfying moment for me, more than this one, because we'd already seen this clip in the trailer as well, leading up to this. So it's kind of like you'd already seen it. Plus, it was the only point in the whole special presentation where we see glimpses of him when he's having his breakdown throughout it, but we only see that right at the end, and we saw it in the trailer, so it wasn't really that special. Plus, because they'd already obviously announced like new figures and stuff like that were being released like the day before the special presentation of him in that outfit and stuff. So classic that it was all kind of like already done. So it felt, the TV series felt more special.
Okay. I agree.
Yep. Series.
JD.
Clean sweep. Yeah. Series is better. With him coming out as the Punisher, that's when I cut out, right? We were talking about how that landed at the end of One Last Kill. What didn't really land for me, to be honest. Yeah, he was a little too clean, a little too friendly neighborhood Punisher. Like, yeah, I killed somebody, but it felt like where's the cops now, bro? You better get running. You just killed
Right.
someone. You shot a gun out in front of everyone. Like, you don't have a great escape plan. There's no car. You don't have webs. So, I mean, it's fine, but there was something about the series was way better. Plus, the action. Going back to that, like even though it was more epic and more just like maybe just exciting and everything, the action in the series was still more satisfying. Like when Agent Orange, is torturing him and then finally breaks out and kills him. Like those things are just more just like, yes, when this is just more like a freaking, I don't know, exciting, a lot of murder, high kill count, blah, blah, blah. But man, I got to say, even the peak satisfying action moments in the series were better, even if this giant scene was probably overall just the most fun action scene.
Straight up. Yeah. There you have it. I agree. Okay. I think that just reinforces my thought on the special presentation. But Your Honor, I close my case.
Well, let's get down to ranking then the top the three special presentations we've had. So we've had Werewolf by Night, Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, and Punisher One Last Kill. JD, you hit us first. Give us your order of how you're ranking these.
I gotta put Punisher One Last Kill as number one still, because it's not like I like Werewolf by Night and the Guardian special, but I just enjoy John Bernthal as Punisher, and him freaking such a high kill count. Like that was pretty fun to watch. I would much rather rewatch that. I gave Werewolf by Night another rewatch back then. Pretty slow. Like it was one of those things that I really enjoyed at first. The first time watching it, in my opinion, was the best time watching it. Whereas a lot of projects, the second time is the best time watching it. But little slow, and it's just the kind of fascination of wow, this is so new to the Marvel universe. Made that so fun on the first watch, but I think the Punisher is still my favorite here, just because it is that actor, it is this character, it is that high of a kill count, it is that rated R. So I'd still probably go number one on that. And then probably, dude, to be honest, maybe even Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special as number two and Werewolf by Night as last, which seems kind of weird. But I did that's Christmas special was really cool. And you get a reveal that Mantis and Peter are brother sister. A lot of the Kevin Bacon stuff was really funny. It was just more entertaining for me than Werewolf by Night, even if Werewolf by Night had a really cool, special, little unique thing going on. I like all three of them, but that's the order I'd go.
Okay, Caleb.
Interesting list. I think I do Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas special. I'd probably put at 3. I mean, it was fun, it was entertaining, but weren't there a couple like music sequences and stuff?
Yeah, and it was a wonderful music sequence. It was about Santa Claus and how he steals, and it was great. It was wonderful. Right. So shut up.
Yeah, I didn't love that.
I actually did.
No, it's still good though. I think I'd put Punisher at number 2 just because of how short it was. I feel like Werewolf by Night was more of a complete story. A more interesting story. It was like new. I've only seen it once, and I watched it black and white, and it is slow in the beginning, but then those last 30 minutes or so are pretty fun. So I think Werewolf by Night number 1.
Hell yeah.
Dave.
Yeah, I got Guardians Holiday Special at 3, but it was good, and it made Batman canon in the MCU, so pretty big weight it was pushing there. Kevin Bacon mentioned Batman. It was way more entertaining than I expected. It was really fun, and like JD said, it actually had some MCU implications regarding Peter and Mantis, so that was interesting. But I can't put that above Punisher. Punisher comes in at number 2 though, because honestly, for me, as far as enjoyment watching it, like it was enjoyable to watch Punisher kill people, but start to finish, pound for pound storytelling, originality. Like, again, I felt like I had already watched the special presentation, whereas Werewolf by Night was brand new. I knew nothing about any of the characters, kind of Man-Thing, but barely even anything there. And I thought start to finish, I loved it. By the end of it, I was like, damn, that was really entertaining. I've watched it a couple times again since then, and I still really like it. I've did black and white and color. I think both are pretty cool. So yeah, I can't put Punisher above that just because that was way more unique and entertaining for me and just kind of its own experience, where this just felt like a fun rehash and watching some murder porn for 20 minutes.
Okay, so that leaves me, I guess. Then,
It does.
maybe I'm going to lay down the shocker here. I've got Punisher at number 3.
Okay.
That's fair.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
I hate
wearing. You know, it's not like I'm not a
Take
fan,
that
as
shirt
everyone
off.
knows. Do you really want to see what's underneath this? It's
Yes,
fucking
yes,
massive.
do it.
It looks like melted Play-Doh under this t-shirt, so I wouldn't bother.
Oh yeah.
So Punisher at number 3, simply because 2 points have already been made. Too short, way too short. 48 minutes is not long enough for something like this. 2, it was just the fact that it's kind of a rehash and a recap of like the two seasons of Punisher in a way. I mean, someone mentioned in the comics, it's kind of like this was like a catch up for those that hadn't seen season 2 of the Punisher in a way. So it was kind of a rehash in a way, and because unfortunately, whilst you can have Frank have these conversations with other people like Daredevil that make it interesting to have those philosophical differences between characters, in his own show, it's literally kill or be killed. That's all his really thing is. So I enjoyed it. I'm not saying it was rubbish, but I do think that out the 3, it ranks the bottom of them. Guardians of the Galaxy comes in at 2 for me. It has a wider connection to the MCU because it is the Guardians. And the fact that as well we do get the reveal of Mantis and Peter being related, which is a big thing. Plus, it was just fun because it's set at the holiday time. You know, kidnapping Kevin Bacon and bringing him in after being mentioned throughout the Guardians films was a big thing. So to me, that's why it sits in there. And Werewolf by Night, this again, the reasoning's already been kind of said. It was fresh, it was new, it was something completely different. It was so intriguing to watch because it was nothing like we'd had in the MCU before. The first special presentation that we'd been given as well, so it was all new. Oh, what's this? It's all done in black and white. It was all very, very different to what we'd seen before, and it was really intriguing to watch. And like I've been saying, when are they going to do something like that again? Like, you can have these shorts and slap it as like a special presentation, but to do something like they did with Werewolf by Night was completely different. So to me, that's why it kicks out at number 1. So yeah, I've got Werewolf by Night, Guardians, and then Punisher at 3. So JD, I believe we have a question.
Yeah, this is a good question. If you guys could pick a character to have a special presentation next, who would you pick? It's not exactly how it was worded, but I just like the question a lot.
Fair.
I got one. Ronin.
Go for it.
Ronin.
Ooh.
I want to go back and see Hawkeye's time as Ronin as a special presentation. I think that'd be awesome.
I like that.
Interesting.
I like that.
Caleb?
Who would I want as a special presentation? Go. You guys go first. Let me think of one.
Ugh. Dave, anything that jumps into your head straight away? Who would you have for your own Marvel special presentation?
Yeah,
Same
I mean,
on
it's kind of, we're in the same deal. I missed JD's thing, but we kind of already got it too. But Bullseye right off the bat is the first thing that I think of. I absolutely want more Bullseye. Give me Bullseye. But getting away from that, man. Yeah, I would probably need some more time to think about it. But first off, Moon Knight 2 comes to mind. We kind of got botched on the season 1 there. Haven't continued that. I'd like to see something special, maybe dive into that more.
Well, I was
said
thinking
Ronin.
I'll have a...
Aaron.
Yeah, he said Ronin. He was going to go.
Ronin, yeah.
Um,
See what Hawkeye was doing as Ronin.
Yeah, I like that.
The first one that popped into my head was Thanos. It's like an earlier Thanos, sort of before we even sort of see him in early doors in the Avengers. Maybe like a special presentation of like Thanos when he was, as he talks about in Infinity War, when he was telling everyone on Titan that, things were going to go bad and that the only way to do it was to enact his plan.
That would be sick.
That is like, an hour-long special presentation. That was what first thing that jumped into my mind.
Bucky?
That's pretty sick.
Yeah, we kind of had quite a lot of that.
Right. I feel like
Yeah.
got a lot of it. Yeah.
His congressman days.
That's
They were
what
very
The House of
short-lived.
Cards.
That was
Those
literally
kinda
an
got
hour
boring.
long.
Unless we do Winter Soldier missions, then I'm there for it. Like Winter Soldier missions that interact with MCU
That would be
events
sick.
that happen. That would be sick. I'm there for that.
Another good point from Bloody Knuckles is it was kind of disappointing we didn't get any context on what Frank was doing
Yeah.
during Born
For sure.
Again season 2. We all kind of expected that to be most of the story as well, and that didn't happen.
Well,
I guess it was
what
that,
we've just been discussing for the last
He was in an
55 minutes.
apartment
That's what he was
going
doing.
for PTSD.
No,
So,
that's not the
but I
same
guess-
thing he was doing during that time. Well, we don't know.
Yeah,
It's
no,
like a
it's,
day,
it's
though.
set. It's set between the end
Yeah.
of Daredevil, Born Again season 1 and Spider-Man. So I know it only covers like a day or two, but in terms of that's what was supposed to link us. Like Frank disappeared, he
Okay.
was out in hiding. He killed off the rest of the
Right.
Nucci family, and anyone else had his
Right.
descent into madness,
Okay.
recovers.
Oh, okay,
And
Nucci family.
That
stuff.
is fair, but give us a reference point. I wish they just gave anything relating to the Daredevil series. I don't know, but you're right. I guess that is just simply what he was doing that time.
come on, Jake. I mean,
But
you're
make-
intelligent
but-
enough,
but
but you
make
don't
that
need
clear,
it
though.
spoon-fed to you in the series. at
Yeah, I
every
kind
single
of want
point.
it
Come
spoon fed to
on.
me. Throw it in that mouth.
Don't discredit your
just a
comic
little
book
reference.
intelligence by saying that you need it
Oh.
spoon-fed on the screen for you.
Oh, well,
You're-
that's
you're
the
not
fun of
Caleb.
the MCU
This-
is the
oh.
connectivity.
Caleb can't read the descriptions of all these things because we know he can't read, so he needs it spoon-fed. He's
Try.
Anyway, Dave, did you actually give us an answer? Sorry, on the special presentation. Did you just say Moon Knight?
Well, I said Bullseye to start off.
Okay, okay.
We kind of got that in Daredevil season 3, but I'm still here for that more. So I would like to see Bullseye missions for the Thunderbolts going through. Maybe we start off with a little bit of more background work on how he got to be, how talented he is, and then we get into the Thunderbolt missions, and then we get some dope cameos of other people who are working under contract for the government, and that would give us a big window to bring in characters from the comics that haven't made their live action appearance yet, and they show up as, mercenaries. Maybe we get, I don't know, Agent Venom gets thrown in there. We see Agent Venom is working for Val too at this point. We just see other, I don't know, Thunderbolts characters we haven't seen introduced. I just think it'd be a really easy, fun thing to bring in fun characters, and Benjamin Poindexter is just a great character to fall around at all. So I'll stick with that as my final answer.
Okay.
Bullseye.
Cool. Love, have you had a good think now?
Maybe just turn Armor Wars with War Machine into a special presentation. Get it over with, right?
Oh, you can't choose an existing
that's a
project
pretty good
already.
Oh, I don't think they're
Okay,
doing
is
that
it
now.
ever coming out? I mean, it's
I
been
don't know.
like 7 years.
I like it, love. I like it.
I think
Bunch
the
of
special
a-holes.
Moon Knight.
presentation should
I'm
be
gonna steal
Spider-Man
Moon
4.
Knight.
What's,
Let's
um,
do
some
an Iron
reason
Man one.
yeah.
I'm kidding.
It's getting
Iron
worse.
Iron Man, the teenage years.
It's got a
Kang,
Darcy,
Kang one.
Darcy special
was the-
presentation.
Thanos.
What was the name of the one from from Secret Invasion where she took on all the powers at the end?
Naya,
became
Emilia
the,
Clarke.
Let's
Yeah.
just forget about that.
Yeah.
She took like what has she been doing since she became the strongest person in the MCU ever?
She recently found 3 dragon eggs, and she's been going across the.
Fair.
No, I don't know.
Nice.
Nobody cares about her at this point.
All right. Well, I guess that wraps everything up for our coverage of the Punisher One Last Kill special presentation, and a bit of lovely chat afterwards as well. As always, you can catch everything, as I said at the start, online, whether it's Spotify, Apple, YouTube, Instagram, X, Twitter. You've got our website you can go to. You've got our merch you can get. You can get yourself a discount at Panabound Comics because we love you and we're here to help you out. And it also helps support us as well if you're listening to us, following us, using our discount code, doing all that stuff. So please head over to do all of that. JD's got a point because he loves to interrupt me. Go ahead, mate.
So Panel Bound has the cheapest, beats Amazon, but the Invincible Omnibus brand new collection. It collects like the first 2 compendiums maybe that are both gigantic in the first place. But what it also collects is the Spider-Man crossover with Invincible that is totally not in the previous collected edition. So pretty exclusive to this omnibus unless you go find the single issues or something. So it was like $70-$80, better than Amazon's price at Panel Bound. And that's a really freaking cool book. I picked one up. So check it out if you want to read Invincible. We've got that Spider-Man story in there too.
Sweet.
Sorry, Andy.
It's so good, brother. It's so good. JD's worked very hard to cultivate these relationships and get you these discounts and stuff like that. So please show him some love by going and using our discount code because that's what we're working hard for, to cultivate these relationships, to help you to help us at the end of the day. So please go and do that. We will be back next week. We've got the Boys finale to cover. which is going to be sick to do. Week after that, or maybe next weekend even, if we find the time, we've got Mandalorian and Grogu to cover. Maybe early the week after rather than next weekend. Depends how quickly we all get to see it. Looking at one person in particular in the corner there. Do I love giving you guys crap on the show?
Well played. Well played.
Anyway, so hit us up next week to watch the boys coverage. Hit us up after that to watch Mandalorian and Grogu. Then we're going to be going back and getting ourselves on some nerd therapy episodes because we've been letting that go for the last few months whilst we've had so much to cover. But we've also got Spider-Man Noir coming out on the 27th of May, which is going to be interesting. So I'm not sure whether we'll be doing week by week coverage of that or whether we'll just do it in sort of block coverage. I can't remember if it comes out weekly or all at once. I think it's still going to be weekly, isn't it? So, but that's going to be interesting to cover as well. Who doesn't love a bit of Nick Cage? I know my wife does. We'll just leave that there. But thank you everyone for tuning into Why So Serious, a Nerd podcast, and we will catch you next time.